What is going on, Yinzers? It is Tim, and I'm joined by Luke Mazer, and we're feeling pretty good over here on the Hodgepodge. Are you expecting a season sweep or a season sweep, a series sweep this weekend?
No.
Over them Phillies?
Well, you know what? If you'd asked me that question 3 weeks ago, the answer would have been no. However, I don't want to say I was expecting it, but I'm not incredibly shocked based off of the baseball we've been playing recently.
Buccos. Donnie.
Dude, it's rare though. I mean, I will say we were talking about this. A Philly sweep is rare. I mean, the fact that we even had an opportunity to sweep. I mean, we won the first two. One of them in walk-off fashion and bottom of the ninth. I mean, you love to see it. You just love to see it. I mean, I know we're getting to that a little bit later, but yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. And, dude, them guys are battling under Donnie. They were playing some defense this weekend. Key Bryan, that glove. Did you see that thing?
Yeah. Well, good thing he has a glove. That's all I got to say about
he has that
but
glove.
No,
because
that play was ridiculous. I mean, he might as well go up to the plate without a bat in his hands at this point and just take his strikeout and go back to the dugout. But yeah, that was a great play. I mean, those are the types of plays that we're used to seeing prime Key Hayes make. But yeah, man, great play. Love to see it.
And dude, what's the limit here with them under Donnie? What do you think?
I think we are seeing a completely different baseball team than we saw. I mean, it passes the eye test for sure. We're watching a different baseball team than we watched under Derek Shelton.
That's the Philadelphia Phillies, dude, that they just really, really put up. Didn't score a bunch of runs. I mean, today they won 2-1. You know, they walked it off. And, you know, it was a good series defensively. You can't take that away from him. Pitching was excellent. Heaney went out of a game. Heaney went out of a game with an injury, and other guys stepped up and pitched well.
Right.
And
yeah, I mean that's what we get from the Pirates, though. Like we can't be expecting them to go out and score 10 runs a game.
Yeah.
And win with a high-powered offense. However, they should be expected to score enough runs that when you have the best pitcher in the league, you don't lose.
Yep.
Right? Like, I mean, we're going out. Skeens is starting, throwing a gem, giving up 0 or 1 run, 2 at the absolute most.
It's like,
and we would score 0 or 1 run through that whole stretch. And I know we only scored 2 today, but that's okay. That's okay because 2 runs equaled a W.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, like I said, we're not going to go out and so I mean, there's going to be games where we do it, but more often than not, we're not a team that's going to go score 9-10 runs in a baseball game.
And isn't it automatic, though, whenever you turn around every time Paul Skeens goes out and it's 1 or 2 runs that the other team puts up? It's automatic at this point. I can think of maybe 1 or 2 games where he went out there and got hit around.
Yeah, I think he got shelled by the Cubs one game.
Cubs, yep. That's the game I'm thinking about, yep.
I'm pretty sure there was one other game, but
I can't think of that other one.
Yeah, I can't place it, but I do remember him getting shelled by the Cubs. Because it's few and so far between when it happens, you kind of remember them. I mean, I remember thinking like, "What is Paulie doing today?" But it's professional baseball. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, dude, and I think we saw him pulled around the 100 pitch mark today. They're really protecting that arm for the long run this season, and everyone's going to be like, in the Facebook comments, like, oh, they're saving them for the Dodgers or something like that. Right. And it's like, dude, come on, get your tinfoil hat off here. Let's chill out a little bit. At the end of the day, these guys do want to win baseball games. That's what they're there to do. And Skeens definitely compartmentalizes very well and heads out there with the mindset of, I'm going to go out there and throw as hard as I can and, win games. And
Yeah, and I wanted to make a point too, like, it's when I and we throw shade at the Pirates, it's not directed towards the players. Now, I mean, if Frazier goes out and makes 6 throwing errors, or IKF goes out and makes 6 throwing errors, then yes, he's gonna hear about it. But when we throw shade at the Pirates, it's at the organization, it's at the ownership, um, it's at the front office. It's just the people who are making decisions behind the
yeah,
scenes. It's not at the players, because the players aren't going out there and saying, "Hey, let's see how fucking bad we can lose this game by," right? Like, but at the end of the day, like, it's the ownership's job, it's the GM's job, Sherrington. It's their job to put a competitive team on the field, and
yeah,
we suffered for so long uh, with them not doing that and just not giving a fuck. And I still feel like there's much more that could be done about the roster right now,
yeah.
but I do think this is one of the better rosters we've had. We've talked about this, I feel like, almost every episode we do. Like, this is one of the better rosters we've had. It was being managed horribly,
As
which
they
is
get
why
healthier, yeah,
which
absolutely.
is why we were 17-36 at one point, I think. Uh,
Yeah,
but the players aren't going out there saying, "Hey guys, let's fucking lose." Like, they all
yeah,
want to win, and they're all out there playing hard. It's just frustrating when the the front office of the team shows that they just could care less.
yeah. And another thing that kind of leads right back into what we want to talk about today. Guys like Nick Gonzalez coming in back from injury, them getting healthier. That dude, he just doesn't go away, man. I mean,
Yeah, 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 for sure. And before we jump into Nikki G, I know you mentioned having a question about, you know, can we see Donnie being the long term solution here?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Um, Not only can I see it, there shouldn't be any other way right now. Like, nobody should even be thinking like who's going to be the next guy.
He's got a great demeanor about him
He's got a
behind the
great
bench.
demeanor. He's a Pittsburgh guy. He's a
Yep.
hometown dude. He clearly gives a fuck. I mean, he's getting ejected, which I love to see.
Yep.
Sidebar. I know we bitched about the umpires last week, and I'm never going to stop bitching about the umpires.
No.
The only part of having real umpires that I would miss if we got rid of them is the fucking screaming matches
Yep. The
that the
ejections. Yep.
manager like. That's entertaining, and I would definitely miss that. But I digress. That's just a sidebar I wanted to make. But yeah, Nikki G's hard, man. We missed him for sure.
Yep. There was a few things about Nikki G and just Frazier being on second just didn't feel right to me. I don't know. I mean,
What about it didn't feel right?
just Nikki G being there, he just has a whole different aura to him. He's like Cruz being out in center field now. He just feels loose.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. No, and I agree with you. I I think we're much better off with Nikki G playing second base. Frazier's bat has been pretty nice, though. I
Yeah,
mean, Frazier
definitely.
Frazier has improved immensely hitting from a couple weeks ago to now.
Hmm.
I mean, just in big spots, like, we need a hit. Frazier comes up. I mean, he's been ripping line drives into the outfield. I mean, the
Yep.
double the other night to set up the walk-offs. The IKF bunt, which was perfect.
Dude, that was crazy. Perfectly on the line.
Frazier's hitting. Frazier is hitting, and we gave him shit. We gave him a lot of shit
You don't
for
say this
not
too
hitting.
often, but you can't bunt a ball better than IKF did, huh?
Dude, I don't know
I
that
think,
I've
what
ever
was it, like
seen.
a centimeter off the line,
Yeah,
back on,
yeah.
and
I
just parked
I
it.
don't know that I've ever seen a better bunt than
Crazy.
what we saw. I mean, that was insane.
Major league level bunt.
Yeah, all-star. That was an all-star level
All-star.
one.
All-star level bunt. Yeah. Well, let's see what we got going on here with O'Neill, looking in center. Pretty sharp out there. Swinging the bat.
Yeah, I'm going to stand on what I said like week 2 of this podcast. O'Neill Cruz belongs in center field.
Oh, yeah.
It was a rough start.
Shortstop was too much. Too much pressure on the glove.
Yeah, I mean, he can play short. You could put O'Neill Cruz anywhere on the field and he's going to be fine. But he should be in center field.
Yeah.
It was a rough start. There was a couple blundered plays that you're like, what the fuck are you doing, O'Neill? But I don't want to say training wheels, but you could tell it's comfortable for him now. It wasn't comfortable at first. That's fine. He's making plays, man. He is. I mean, the ball he tracked down the other night. I forget who hit it, but he, jumped and flew into the wall, made a really nice catch after running like 100-something feet to run it down.
Yep.
That's the type of shit that he's in center field for.
Yeah. He did miss a game. Do you think that was him taking a game off, or do you think Donnie gave him the day off?
I'm not really concerned about it yet.
No.
What was it, like lower back tightness or some shit?
Yeah.
That feels like a give him a day off type of excuse. Like, hey, the lower back's tight. It's not like there's no real injury paired with that. I mean, it's just lower back tightness. I'm sure they just said, fuck it, give him a day and let him come back. He would have to miss a few games consecutively for me to be like, what's going on here? Yeah,
for sure. And
the other hand, though, Endy's is kind of concerning.
Yeah, I was just going to say, any throw that O'Neill makes into home, that might have a little bit different of a glove now that Endy's same arm that he was just coming back from is injured again. So
yeah, that to me doesn't look good. Sherrington said, I was looking into this a little bit. Sherrington said it's not the same injury and the ligament he injured.
Okay.
He said it's not the same injury and the ligament is stable, referring to the ligament that was repaired from last year.
I didn't know that, so that's positive.
It's positive. I just don't know how much I believe it.
True. Yeah, it could be getting a second opinion on that.
I mean, a dude comes back from a year off he got Tommy John, didn't he?
I thought so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure he got Tommy John. So he comes back from a year off of Tommy John, and we're in the beginning of June, and he's now out for the same elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And to say that's a different injury, I just find it hard to believe. I'm not saying that Sherrington's bullshitting, but I find it hard to believe. I mean, I think we'll have to hear more about that to see what's really going on there, because in my head, there's no way that it isn't the same injury.
Yeah.
But
considering the nature of it.
Yeah, we'll have to let time tell us what's
time
going
and
on
professionals tell us what's going on.
Luckily, catcher is somewhat deep for us. I mean,
yep.
Bart's on the concussion thing, but
that'll be a nice bat to come back.
It'll be a nice bat to come back. I mean, him and Davis are both decent catchers,
man.
Defensively, I mean, they're not.
We're skipping.
They're not amazing.
Yeah, we're skipping one a little bit, but Henry Davis, man, 2 home runs in 2 games in a row, first time in his career.
Yeah, so we're witnessing a different Henry Davis.
This looks confident.
I think we're witnessing, or starting to witness, I should say, the first round pick, overall
the pedigree. Pick, the pedigree Henry of Davis that come out. Yep.
We drafted, because he was not even anywhere near that.
No.
But he looks different. He looks comfortable. The dude looks like he knows he's the shit.
Mhm.
Kind of like chip on his shoulder type of
Yep.
mentality. I don't know. I mean, something changed. Obviously, something changed. I don't know if it was a mentality shift. I don't know if it was Donnie. But I don't even want to speculate or think about it too much. It's working. Let Henry swing the fucking bat.
Yeah, let the guy swing the bat. Aggressive. He's definitely been aggressive at the plate. He looks at one. He looks at one last week in a big spot, and it was a ball. I mean,
yeah.
And he gets punished for it, and he comes back the next weekend, and mashes two over the fence 2 games in a row. You can't really
Yeah, and he's
come
not
back
just
better
doing
from
it.
that.
He's not doing it in regular spots. Like the one he hit 2 days ago, or the first one of the 2 that we're referring to. Maybe it was the second one. I don't know. Either way, we're down 2.
Yeah.
Canario walks.
Pretty sure it was the second one.
Yeah, Canario walks, gets on first, and we're down 2. And Henry Davis just comes up and absolutely demolishes a line drive to left over the fence to tie the game back up. And guess what? We did after that.
Yep.
We won the fucking game in the bottom of the ninth.
Yep. And won the series.
And yeah, I mean, that was in the 4th inning or 5th inning, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say it was the bottom of the 4th that
bottom of the 4th, I think.
He hit that home run. Nobody scored a run the rest of the game until we walked it off.
Yep.
So if Henry Davis doesn't hit that home run, hypothetically, we lose that game by 2.
Yeah.
So big spots. I mean, just showing up in big spots it's good to see. It's good to see, and he's not the only one.
No, there's been. I mean, up and down the lineup, you're starting to see some bats pop out of nowhere and make some hits in some spots. I mean, IKF with that bunt, in a big spot. As odd as it is to say, that was a huge bunt, and it was perfect. So it's showing up, and they sweep the Phillies, which I'd have to do some research in the last time we could say that. Like to know.
I'm going to find out for you, brother.
All right. Well, that's good. While you're doing that, shout out to fellow Yinzer, Isaac Matson, grabbing a win. First MLB. Dookie. What you got on the Phillies sweep?
Actually, almost 5 years ago exactly.
That's sorry, not as long as I would have thought.
10 years, not 5.
Yeah.
June 12th to 14th, 2015, the Pirates swept the Phillies.
It's been a little bit.
10 years between Phillies sweeps. So a decade, almost. A couple of days away from a full decade.
You could call that the poop sweep.
That was the poop sweep, dude. Love it. And I love to see a good poop game.
Yeah. Can't beat that.
You know what I'm saying, brother? The Buccos are battling, and we are just trying to get ourselves back into a good spot. I mean, we're 26-40. Obviously not where you want to be, but based off of where we were headed, I'll take it. I will take it. We were, like I said, I'm pretty sure 17-36 at one point.
17-36.
I think that's as bad as it was. I could be wrong, but to be 26-40, again, not a good record. But no. I will come absolutely back and take.
Yeah,
I'll take. I mean, they just could have said, "Fuck it, the season's over."
Curious what their record under Don Kelly is right now.
That's a great question too. I did want to mention. I know we have a couple other segments that we got to go into, but The Buccos are hot right now. We're going to have a series with the Marlins, 3-game series with the Marlins
Mhm.
at home tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think very realistically that could be another sweep.
Yeah, and if they sweep that series, that would put them 29-40. Or is it a 4-game series? 3-game series.
It's 3-game series.
29-40. I mean,
And yeah,
11 games
so
back from 500, halfway
11
through the
games out of
season.
500. And what I was getting into there was, so we got three games against the Marlins all at home, very realistic sweep possibility there, to which we then travel to Chicago and play the Cubbies, who are playing some ball. But
Yeah.
guess what? So the fuck are we?
Yeah, so are the Pirates.
Like,
I mean,
give me the
they're
smoke. Give
13
me
and
this.
14 under Don Kelly.
Yeah. Which one under 500, but we were
Imagine they
17
started the
36.
season that way, though.
Right. We'd be in a completely different position. Completely different position.
Yep.
But
Probably, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to the Cubs series just to get a taste of how good of baseball are we actually playing right now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a team they see a lot. You're going to
and the
have good
Cubs,
pitching on either side, good defense on either side.
yeah, and the Cubs are balling.
Yeah.
The Cubs are balling.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
they've really swung back well.
yeah, no doubt about it. And that's kind of, that's a true test of like, how are you playing to play a team like that? If we could win that series, I don't expect a sweep there, but if we could win that series, that would be huge. Because even then, if we sweep the Marlins, we're what, 29-40, and then we go 2-1 in Chicago, and we're 31-41.
Yeah, that puts you not in a bad spot.
So it's just one of those. I mean, I know I've said this a couple of times. We just dug ourselves such a bad hole.
Yeah. And a lot of those losses were just no offense. I mean, there were a lot of facets of the game going well, and they just didn't have bats to back it up.
Here's another fun fact: the Cubs have the literally one game off of the opposite record of us.
Wow.
They're 40-25, and we're 26-40.
Wow.
So that shows you just how different the seasons for the Cubs and the Pirates have gone so far.
Yeah, that's a little interesting stat there for sure. We had
14 and a half games back.
Yeah. Speaking of Chicago, let's get into some fun stuff here.
Fun stuff, yeah, man. I couldn't wait for this.
Yeah,
by the way,
this was a fun little segment brought up in a group chat about comparisons of the Pittsburgh Pirates to NFL franchises. Dookie, we watch our fair share of the NFL. We know our bad teams in there. I know a lot of our fellow Yinzers also watch plenty of the NFL and also know about some of those franchises. And Pirates can certainly look like a good comparison at times. So, do you want to go first, or you want me to lead us off here?
I mean, I got two, so I'll go.
Okay.
I'll go with one of them. And then I'll tag the other one on at the end. But I put some serious thought into this, and it came down to me to the Raiders because the ownership on both sides is, I mean, you could switch the two owners and nobody would know that anything different happened with either team. And I just think I tried to not do a player comparison. However, my other team is from that angle, just to kind of give the whole full circle comparison. But yeah, my main pick here is the Raiders. Just very similar. I mean, fired their coach last year, bring in a interim guy who they ended up hiring. And when that coach came in, I mean, the Raiders still had an awful season.
Yeah.
But it gave them a little bit, slight glimmer of hope.
And a different looking team on the field.
Yeah. So that's my pick. That's my comparison.
I like that one. I was down to 2. My ultimate pick might have switched. I don't know. It's pretty close because I was down between the Washington Commanders and the Carolina Panthers. I think ultimately I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers, just on based on Washington's very recent success. Carolina, they compare pretty well with their happenings of the start of a great team, and then just ripping it all down whenever things didn't work out, and not spending the money and trading the people. And whenever you do get a little glimpse out of a guy, you trade for him, and drafting Bryce Young instead of CJ Stroud. And there's just been a lot of things that have, not that Bryce Young's looking terrible, because he has looked pretty decent, but there were times that the Pirates, could have did this, could have did that, and they just didn't. So, and going back to when Cam Newton lost in the Super Bowl, not reaching and grabbing the fumble. So one thing that always stuck out to me from that game, that's a Pirates move right there.
All day.
That's a Pirates move.
All day long, it's a Pirates move. The other angle you could come at is the same angle that I'm going to come at on my other one, is that Bryce Young is like the Paul Skeens of the Carolina Panthers, surrounded by an offense who can't help him.
And it's Bryce Young is a great football player. I wasn't blind watching him before he got onto the Carolina Panthers.
No, he's not comparable to Paul Skeens' talent. Like but just like he's the center of that team.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Yeah. Commanders, if Jaden Daniels and different ownership never happened, that'd be a pretty good comparison too.
Yeah.
The Snyder group that was running that joint before was not favorable.
But there's another point
very
to make
comparable
here too.
To the Nuttings.
Another point to make here too, like, look what happens. They switch things up and become a very, very successful team. In recent, this is recency bias, but they became very successful and became a force to be reckoned with in the NFC.
Mm. Oh yeah.
When things changed up a little bit.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels had just about everything to do with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they had a pretty stout defense too.
They did, yeah, absolutely. And they have some good offensive weapons too. I mean, Scary Terry's a beast.
Yeah.
Bry Robb is a beast, but this isn't a football podcast, so.
No. Well, I did just take a look and see it's almost 5 here. Did you have anything from around the rest of the league, non-Pirates?
Yeah, man, I did.
Let's get
Not
into
a
something.
Not a lot, but this is going to start in the form of a question. If I had to ask you, who do you think in Major League Baseball holds the title for longest home run this season? Who would you tell me? And I think you froze. But I know you'll be back very soon.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back.
All right.
I'm back.
Did you hear my question?
I caught like the very first part.
If I was to ask you in a league where Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge exist and play baseball, who holds the title of longest home run hit this year in baseball?
I feel like this is a trick question.
It is, but it's not a Pirate.
It's not a Pirate. Okay. Well,
not O'Neal Cruz. That would be where my head would go to as well.
Yeah, but the hardest one hit was O'Neal Cruz, and that was a line drive. I got out of town quick. Caution, I don't know. Ooh, that's a good one. I'd say like Bryce Harper or somebody, but it's not.
And it was a grand slam.
Oh wow!
By Red Sox prospect, Roman Anthony.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And it was 497 fucking feet.
497. That's a nuke.
Yeah, so that stuck out to me as something I wanted to point out. I mean, that's an absolute bomb. 497, bro.
That's
like
insane.
that's on the show. You hit 497. You're like, God damn.
Yeah. My thing from around the MLB is did you see Big Joe Caglione?
118 off the bat or something.
Dude, that guy is a unit. Why have I not heard more about him sooner?
I knew a little bit about him, not much. I've heard his name a couple of times, but yeah, the dude's a unit. I honestly think they probably should have brought him up earlier than they did.
That guy is an absolute unit.
Yeah, he's a unit. I think I just said this, but I know you froze. They probably should have brought him up earlier than they did. And Big Timmy's having some internet problems today.
Yeah, all right, brother. Yeah.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Just had to bring up Joe Caglione and the internet goes out.
Exactly. No, they said you're not talking about Royals on this
on this Buckos podcast.
No, they should have brought him up earlier though.
Yeah, dude, he's a unit, man.
Yeah,
he's a unit. All right, well, I think that about wraps up everything we had for the day. Go Buckos.
All right, Yenzers, go Buckos, and that. Go Buckos and that.
We will see Jens next week. We'll have David on here. He'll be back live with us next week. See Jens later.
Is that all?
No. Wait a minute. The fuck? Why would you do that? Maybe we should think about this.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.